Thank you very much, Chairman soon-to-be. Thank you. I didn't think we would make history today at this hearing, but I think this probably will be the shortest chairmanship in the history of the United States Senate. And Senator Tillis and I were talking where you've got the witnesses positioned in the room. This is sort of like looking at Russia from Alaska. I'm sorry that Senator Sullivan left. It's hard to see all that way. I appreciate the opportunity to come before the committee today to introduce Secretary Michael Regan. As you consider his nomination to be Administrator of the Environmental Protection Agency, it's always a pleasure to introduce someone from your own state, especially one with whom I've had the opportunity and the pleasure of working and who is extremely qualified for this position. Secretary Regan is a proud North Carolinian. Born and raised in Goldsboro, North Carolina by his parents, Zeb and Mavis, along with his brother and sister. Both of his parents were public servants, with his mother working as a nurse for over 30 years, and his father served in Vietnam and continued to serve in North Carolina in the National Guard until his retirement as a colonel. It's clear that his parents instilled not only the values of public service, but also a love affair with the outdoors, including hunting and fishing, and that continues to this day. I can say a passion we both share. While attending North Carolina A&T, Michael met his beautiful wife, Melvina. Melvina is likely the real star of the family, having graduated from North Carolina A&T along with a master's from Radford University. She currently works in the Research Triangle Park. She's managed all of that while also raising their son, Matthew. Michael, after graduating from North Carolina A&T, where we share in common a very good friend in the Chancellor Harold Martin. With a degree in environmental science, Michael began an internship with the EPA at the Research Triangle Park campus. This was only a start, as he stayed with the EPA for over 9 years, working in various offices and gaining policy experience, while also completing a master's in public administration from George Washington University. Following his initial tenure with the EPA, he served as Associate Vice President for Clean Energy and Southeastern Regional Director for the Environmental Defense Fund. With his stellar resume, Mr. Regan was tapped by Governor Cooper in 2017 to serve as the Secretary of North Carolina Environment and Quality. As the committee evaluates his nomination, I believe his tenure in North Carolina can tell many of you much about how he will approach our shared desire for clean air and water, with the need to ensure we do not unnecessarily limit economic opportunities. North Carolina is blessed by beautiful coastlines and mountains, as well as some of the most fertile agricultural lands in this country. As Secretary of the state's Department of Environmental Quality, Secretary Regan was able to find the right balance by reaching out to stakeholders and ensuring that the department's relationship with rural communities, whose lifeblood is agriculture, was constructive and not adversarial. To underscore this, Secretary Regan's nomination is supported by over 20 of the largest agricultural organizations in the country. These organizations and their state associations understand that they're not always going to agree with every decision handed down by the EPA, but they know and trust they'll receive a fair hearing. It's my belief that Secretary Regan will bring the same qualities, experiences, and values of environmental stewardship while balancing the needs of rural communities to this new role as administrator. On top of that, let me say this. Michael's a good man. He's a good husband. He is a great father. And I look forward to supporting his nomination on the floor. I thank the chair.
Thank you, Senator Burr. Senator Tillis, would you like to join in that rousing introduction?
Well, Madam Chair, for the moment, and incoming chair in a matter of moments, thank you for letting me be here with my friend and colleague, Senator Burr, to introduce Michael Regan. I'm not going to cover some of the ground that Senator Burr did so well, except to say that Secretary Regan is somebody that I've tracked. I have a history in North Carolina. I was Speaker of the House down there. We took up some of the thorny issues of coal ash and passed legislation back when I was Speaker of the House. So I got to see some of that come to life in a Republican administration and then continue to grow in a Democratic administration under Governor Cooper. I will tell you that in the time after his nomination was put forth, I've spent a lot of time talking to people in North Carolina, people in the agriculture sector, people in the energy sector, and what they all said to a person is Michael distinguished himself as somebody who listens and somebody that tried to take in the input from both sides and come up with a fair outcome. And that's why I believe that he does have the support of over 23 national leading organizations, not only in agriculture, but in the business community. You know, we have to understand that the election produced a different leader down in the White House. We can't imagine as Republicans that we're necessarily going to have a president with the same priorities as ours, but what we can hope for are people in the administration who have a track record of listening and trying to come up with a sustainable outcome. As Ranking Member Carper said, you know, trying to produce something that has enduring value. And I believe that Michael will go to the EPA. He will be fair. He will listen. He will sometimes take on initiatives that I will disagree with, most likely vote against. But I do believe that he will be somebody that we can rely on to be fair with the reality of the change and transition. So I want to thank him for being here today. I want to thank him for his years of service and thank him in advance for the tough job that he's about to take on. I also want to welcome Melvina and Matthew. Matthew, if this hearing goes long, I'm right across the hallway, so you can come visit with me. And I'll bring you a goodie bag over here with some North Carolina treats while you're waiting here. But I really hope that you'll listen to him today, ask him the tough questions that we should ask, the things that we as Republican members are concerned with. But at the end of the day, I think we have got a great, well-qualified nominee before us, and I encourage your support. Thank you, Madam Chair.